Welcome to Wednesday night peaceful yoga. I just want to say before we start this class, and I'm going to be sending out an email in the next couple of days with more definitive information. We've been kind of looking ahead to the potential of phase 2 when fitness studios will be able to open on a limited capacity. And I'm also keeping in mind my personal feelings about this whole situation, of how I think we should ease into it, as well as concerns that I've heard from some of my patrons. So with that being said, provided that we do get the go ahead and open on a limited basis starting the end of next week or the beginning of the following week, we will not be offering as many in-person classes as we were before all this started, but we will still be offering a lot of our online classes as well. So this is going to be a slower transition for us than it may be other businesses, but it's something I feel very confident about because I know that there are people who are not ready to come out yet. And I want to find that balance where I can support all of you. And I also want to make sure we don't have big classes. So and we're also going to plan pop-up classes on pretty days. So we'll have outdoor pop-up yoga classes. If we look at the weather and it's nothing but sunshine for a couple of days, then we'll be doing that. So I'll have more definitive information in a couple of days, but I just wanted to just make you guys aware that, so whichever side of the fence you fall on, if you're itching to get into the studio, you're hopefully going to have that option soon. But if you're apprehensive and you still want to be at home, we're still going to be here to support you. We're going to find that balance for probably a couple of months, and we'll ease back into it. Okay, so go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. Get nice and tall. Really lift up through the chest. This really helps to activate the back and lengthen the spine. Start to draw breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And start to view your circle, your breath in your mind's eye as a circle. So half of the circle is drawing up from your chin into your nose as you inhale. And then it starts to circle back through, down through your nose and out through your mouth as you exhale. And just start to envision that circle in your mind's eye as you inhale and exhale. Couple more breaths here. On your next inhale, circle your shoulders up and shrug them up to your ears. As you exhale, pull the shoulder down. Exhale, back and down. One more. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up nice and tall. We're going to stay here for a whole breath to really create some length in our spine. So lift up on your chest and then really pull those shoulders back and down. And you may even want to kind of bend your arms and let your palms face each other. So we've got this nice length, and then we're going to take another big inhale, get a little longer. As we exhale, reach to the right and let that left arm drop over the ear. So here, take a breath, a full breath, to start to lengthen back out through both sides of the body, including that side that's facing the floor. Get nice and long. And then as you exhale, maybe you rotate and look slightly over that left shoulder up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. And then inhale up nice and tall. Lift up to the chest, exhale, drop to the left. Get nice and long on both sides of the body. See what you need to do to accomplish that. Maybe inch that left hand out a little further. And then on your next inhale, maybe you rotate a little bit and look up towards the ceiling. And inhale up. We're going to do this each side again. So drop to the right. This time we're going to get a little bit more active. So press that left hip down and hug in all those muscles around the middle part of the spine, around the torso, and rotate and look up. Really press that left hip down. Inhale up tall. Other side. Press down through the right hip. Pull in all those muscles around the torso, and then rotate gently and look towards the ceiling. Keep that right hip pressed down. And inhale up. See if with both arms in the air, you can switch which leg you have in front. Good. And fold forward. One more big breath here. And slowly round up. Come all the way into tabletop. I'm sure y'all have gathered by now. I love a good bird dog. It's a really good way to get your back nice and activated. So we're going to start by spreading out firmly through all 10 fingers. Really root your hands into the ground like tree roots. The knees are positioned under the hips. Now envision all those muscles, all those supporting muscles circling all around the torso, supporting the spine. We hug in all those muscles in every direction so that as the right leg floats up, nothing else on our body moves. See if you can really square that right hip with the mat. If you can get it nice and parallel. Flex the right foot and press that right heel back. Really press it back. And then maybe inhale that left hand up and reach the left hand as far as you can. Reach the right heel as far as you can. Roll the left shoulder back and down and hug that belly button into the spine. And exhale, bring everything down, feet together, knees apart, sink back into child's pose. Next, inhale, come up to tabletop. Root the hands firmly into the mat, like tree roots. Hug in all the muscles around the torso. Start to let that left leg float up and see if you can keep the rest of the body perfectly still. Square the left hip with the mat. Flex the foot and press that left heel back as far as you can. Hug all those muscles back in. And then see if you can let that right arm float up. Reach the right hand in one direction, the left heel in the other. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Roll the right shoulder back and down. Big breath here. And exhale down, child's pose one more time. One more big breath here. Inhale, shift forward into tabletop. Curl the toes under, send the hips back, down dog. Big breath and down dog. And then walk the feet halfway towards the hands. You may want to use a block for this. You're gonna, so you've got your feet like you're in standing forward fold. Sometimes it helps to just start in standing forward fold. And then walk the hands forward as far as you can without changing the position of the hips. So it's almost like it's somewhere between a standing forward fold and a down dog. Now press your heels into the mat. Really press them firmly into the mat, and you should feel a really good stretch and activation through the backs of the legs. Squeeze your behind. Notice how that changes everything. And then pull the belly button in. Really start to engage the core. Take a deeper bend in the knees and rise all the way up. Good. Okay. We're really going to start activating the back here. So bring your feet about hip distance apart And we're going to, if you'll notice my legs here, this is really key. We're not going to change the position of our knees or our legs. Instead, we're going to shoot our hips back. Okay, so see how my knees, I'm not leaning forward. So imagine you're like from your knee down, you're stuck in cement and you're trying to close the door behind you. So think about what that would look like, what you would change. Good, that looks really good. Okay, now squeeze the behind and bring the arms overhead. Really roll the shoulders back and down. Your back should be super engaged right now. If this just does not feel right on your shoulders, try bringing your hands behind your head. Really squeeze the behind. Don't lose that squeeze. Few more seconds. We're really waking everything up here. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Full breath here. Next inhale, rise up halfway. Extend out through the crown of the head. Soft bend in the knees, feet firmly planted. Exhale, fold down, step back into down dog. Spread out through all 10 fingers. Press the heels back. So you're not pressing the heels down towards the mat necessarily. Just envision you're pressing the heels back, that there's a wall just out of reach behind your heels, and you're trying to push them back a little bit more to touch that wall. And just notice how that activates that whole back chain. Press the belly towards the thighs. See if you've got a nice straight back. Look in your video or a mirror. Bend your knees if you need to accomplish that straight back. One more breath here. And then inhale, step the right foot through, bring the left knee down. Inhale, both arms up. Big breath here. Okay, so we're going to bring the hands to heart center. We're going to get nice and long through the spine by lifting up through the chest. And we're just going to we're going to come in and out of this little rotation here. So as you exhale, you're going to rotate and touch the left elbow to the right knee. As you inhale, you're going to come back up to center. So exhale, rotate. Inhale, come up. Keep going with your own breath. 2 more. The last one we're going to hold. So you're either going to stay here and just work on kind of pressing those inner thighs towards each other, towards that midline. And envision an invisible line passing between the legs. You're going to press both inner thighs towards that midline. Either stay here or curl the back toes under and lift up off the back leg. If you're lifted off that back leg, really press that left heel back and breathe. Okay, if the knee's up, go ahead and lower it down. Unwind, bring the hands to frame the foot. We're going to send the hips back and hover over this front leg, flat back. If you have blocks or any kind of props to hover over the leg, that would be probably really helpful to help you get that nice flat back. Sometimes you can just come up on the fingertips. 2 more deep breaths here. Okay, slowly shift forward. Curl the left toes under. Step the right foot back, down dog. One more big breath here. Next, inhale, step the left foot forward and bring the right knee down. Okay, inhale, come up. Lift up through the chest, lengthen the spine. One more breath here, roll the shoulders back and down. And then hands come to heart center. Next inhale, lift up on the chest again to get nice and long through the spine. As you exhale, rotate towards the left. Right elbow touches the left knee. Inhale, come up. Repeat. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come up. 2 more. And exhale, hold. Hold in this twist. See if you can make something a little bit longer. Hug in the thighs towards that midline, that invisible line passing through the legs. Either stay here or curl the back toes under. See if you can rise up on that back leg. One more big breath here. If you're up off that back knee, go ahead and come down, unwind, frame the foot, send the hips back and hover with a flat back. Deep breaths. One more breath. Start to shift forward, curl the toes under, step back, down dog. One more breath here. And start to slowly step towards the hands, come to forward, standing forward fold. Big breath here. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, we'll do a little balancing pose while we're up. I was so cold when I came down to my basement, and now I'm burning up. Hold on. Okay. So let's just do a standard tree pose today. We're going to come to our right foot. We're going to shift the weight to our right foot, but make sure you're not locking out that right knee. That's what tends to happen as soon as we start to shift our weight. And so pay attention to this. You want soft joints, soft ankle, soft knee. Even in the hip, you want a little bit of buoyancy. Lift up through the chest. Get nice and long through the midline of the body. And we're going to actually go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. So with your hands here, kind of press gently but firmly into your hands. And envision that this press is helping to keep your chest lifted. Okay, so this is going to really help us focus on keeping that lift so we're not collapsing out to the right. So start to open that left leg out to the side. And we're really focusing on this hip opener. A tree isn't just a balance pose, it's also a hip opener. And so find your tree. You may be propped up against the inside of the leg. You may be here. You can be on the knee. Just make sure you're not pressing, you're not dumping your weight into that knee. Keep that lift in the chest. Keep opening that knee. Now maybe you spread your branches. Pull that hip in. Breathe. And slowly come down to center. Okay, let's just go through a forward fold here. Big inhale up. Exhale, fold down. Let's hang out here for a couple of breaths just because it feels so good. Sway side to side. Root your weight down through your heels, but keep a soft bend in your knees. Let the head hang long and really lengthen the neck. Next, inhale, slide the hands up the shins, come up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reverse all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Other side. Okay, hands come to heart center. Press them firmly but gently together. And we're just using this as a reminder to stay lifted in the chest. Shift the weight to the left foot. Soft joints. Long through the middle part of the body. Prop that right foot somewhere on the inside of the left leg. Even if the toes are still on the floor. Slide the leg up as far as you can with feeling Good and in control. Keep opening that right knee up and pulling that left hip in. Now maybe you spread your branches. Keep that lift in the chest. Find your focal point. Remember, every sway, every twitch is your body learning new ways to balance. Not a single sway or a single twitch is failure. It's all success. That's your proof that your body's learning something new. I like to say it's learning how to not fall. Good. And exhale down to center. This time let's come to wide leg standing forward fold. So our feet are nice and wide. Press into the outsides of the feet. Soft bend in the knees. Big inhale up. Exhale, flat back. Come all the way down. So hang out here for a breath or two. And then come to center. You may find that a prop helps you with this next thing. So feel free to grab something that's going to elevate you up a little bit if you need to. So we're going to have the slightest little bend in our knees. And the very first thing I want you to really focus on is the position of your hips. So squeeze your behind and brace your core, all those muscles around your torso. Pull them in towards center. And really try and keep this engagement and keep your hips stationary as we go into this rotation. So you're going to inhale this right arm up with a nice straight arm. You're going to follow it with your gaze, reaching all the way up, but pay attention to if those hips rotate and pull them back to center. You're not going to be able to go as far into it, and that's okay. Exhale, come down, same side. Inhale, watch that right hand as it goes up. And exhale, come down. We're going to do 3 more times on this side. So our hips are in this fixed position, which is forcing the rotation to come from our spine. 2 more times. 1 more. And come down, other side. So re-engage those glutes, pulling all the muscles around the torso. Inhale, follow that left arm all the way up. Hips are in a fixed position. Exhale, come down. Again, inhale up. And exhale, come down. 3 more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. And up. 1 more time. And come down. Okay, start to really drive your weight down through your heels. Bend into your knees a little deeper. Engage the glutes. Bring the hands to the hips and come up halfway. Now you may want to stay right here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to lift back up through our chest. Really lift the chest. You should automatically feel an engagement in your back. If you feel a good engagement, maybe you feel a little shaky in your back, you want to stay right here. Please stay right here. Otherwise, bring your arms straight out in front. Listen to your body. And breathe. Don't let your breath get caught in your chest. Breathe deep. Hands to the hips. Squeeze the glutes. Come all the way up. Heel toe the feet into center. Good. Okay, big inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees, feet firmly planted. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold down, step back into down dog. One more big breath here. Next inhale, you can, optional, let that right leg float up. Again, try and keep those hips centered in this fixed position. So you're going to bend your right knee and see if you can open up that leg a little bit without rotating the hips. So the hips are still pointed straight down. And then go ahead and really open up through that right leg. Just feel that difference of where that movement's coming from. And step your right foot all the way through in between your hands. Inhale, come up into crescent pose. Okay, we're going to inhale the arms up, palms face each other, shoulders back and down. So alternatively, you may want to bring your hands to your chest or to heart center if what we're about to do feels like it's starting to round you forward. So with a nice, strong, engaged midsection, we're going to just hinge forward and hover over this front leg. Really reach, pull those shoulders back and down. And again, if you're really rounded, if you feel like you're like this, you would be better off to bring your arms back to your side to really get some openness in your chest. And then we're just going to pulse up and down with this left heel. Just up and down. One more. Good. Inhale, nice and long through the spine. Exhale, reach both hands towards the right. So you can either stay here or move with the breath. You can inhale, come straight. Exhale, reach to the right. Or just hold. 2 more breaths. And come center. Hands frame the front foot and step back into down dog. One more side, and we'll wind it down a little bit. Inhale that left leg up. Keep the hips pointed towards the floor as you bend that left leg and just start to open the hip as much as you can without actually rotating that hip open. And then go ahead and rotate it as far open as you can get. And come center, step all the way through. Okay, inhale up into crescent. Roll the shoulders back and down. Either stay here or again, bring your arms firmly to your side. We really want the chest to be open here. We don't want to be rounded forward or we're defeating the whole purpose of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to engage these back muscles. So shoulders are rolled back and down. We're going to hover over this front leg. And then we're just going to lift and lower the right heel. You should really feel that lower back engaged here. Two more. And come up, lengthen up nice and long, exhale to the left, both arms to the left. Either stay there, inhale up, exhale to the left. 3 more breaths. Last one, reach. Inhale long, exhale, fold down, down dog. Big breath here. And then we're going to step the right foot through into an angle for pigeon. So you're at home. No one's there to adjust you. Make sure pigeon doesn't hurt. That's the #1 rule. Make it feel good. That's it. The only rule. So fold down, maybe bring a cushion, a leg on it. You can always be on your back and make that 4, that where you bring your right ankle to your left knee and pull your left leg in. You can get the same type of stretch with not as much of a severe sensation. Deep breaths here. One more big breath. And then inhale, come up on both hands. So either stay here, lift up on the chest and walk that left leg back a little bit more. Or if it's part of your practice, you can bend this left leg and reach back with the right leg. One more breath. And slowly lower down. Very slowly step back into down dog. Sometimes our hips need a couple extra seconds to unstick. Big breath in and out. Next inhale, step the left leg through for pigeon. Get nice and long in the spine before you fold down or find any other variation to pigeon. Two more big breaths. Next, inhale, rise up on both hands. Lift up through the chest. Walk that right leg back a little further. Either stay here, bend that right leg, reach back with the left leg. One more breath. And slowly release and just sit down on your side. We're going to come to a comfortable seated position. Okay, let's take just a moment to tend to our neck. Sometimes we tend to forget about them. You're going to wrap your right hand behind your back and then just gently lean your head to the left. You can even interlace this left hand with the right hand. Kind of roll it forward and back to the side. Very slow, gentle movements. Our necks don't like abrupt movements in general, but especially when we're lengthening the muscles like this. And come all the way up, release, roll the shoulders. And other side, reach the left hand behind. Optional, you can interlace with the right hand and lean your head to the right. And maybe you just very slowly turn that head back and forth like you're shaking your head no. And slowly unwind. Roll the shoulders in one direction and the other. And let's come all the way down on our backs. Start by pulling both legs into the chest. Roll out the lower back. And then extend the legs straight up in the air. You can put your hands under your hips if you want. We're just going to come into waterfall pose. This is just a very mild inversion. Deep breaths. And slowly bring your feet down. Bring the feet about hip distance apart. We're going to press down through the arms and the feet and come up into a gentle bridge. It's obviously going to take a little bit of effort, but at the same time, there's ways to make it passive. You can put a block under your hips, or sometimes just walking the shoulders together and interlacing the hands creates an arch that just takes a little bit less effort to maintain. And slowly lower down. Walk the feet out to mat distance apart, and we're just going to drop both knees to the right. Slowly come up through center, both knees to the left. Back and forth, slow and methodical. Next time the knees drop to the right, we hang out there for a breath. And then knees pass through center and drop to the left. And we hang out here for a breath. Bring the knees to center. Grab the right foot in the right hand, left foot in the left hand. Happy baby. You can kind of rock side to side if you want. You can bring the hands behind the knees to draw the knees a little wider. See if you can gently pull the feet down a little closer to the body. And slowly release. Start to make your way into your final relaxation pose. You can just be on your back and the standard corpse pose, but Shavasana can be anything you want it to be. You can bring your legs up the wall. You can come into child's pose. It can be whatever you want. Ideally, you just want it to be passive, where you can just kind of forget you have a body for a minute. And wherever you are, come back to the breath. Come back to that circle. Half of that inhale, drawing up out of the mouth into the nose, and then moving down through the nose and out the mouth. Just draw that circle in your mind's eye. If your mind has started to wander, gently draw it back to the breath and then to the body. Scan your body for points of tension. And as you find those points of tension, don't force them out. Just breathe into them, acknowledge them. Extend the invitation to place your hands on your heart. To recognize any peace or space, maybe a little lightheartedness that you've been able to access in this practice. Really acknowledge that, because that was always yours. It was always in you. It's always there. We come back to our mat over and over again to access it. And the more we access it, the more easily accessible it becomes. Now's the time for you to just do any organic movements with your body. Anything your body wants to do that feels right. You can reach your arms overhead. You can stretch your legs long. You can curl up in a ball on your side. Anything that feels right. And just take a couple of breaths to do whatever you need to do before coming to a seated position. Let's take 3 deep breaths to close our practice. With each inhale, really circle your arms open, open your throat, open your chest, look skyward. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we inhale, we open up to all the possibilities. And then we gather everything that serves a purpose to us and pull it into our hearts. One more breath. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. And don't forget, tomorrow Autumn has HIIT yoga. And Friday I have strength. Sunday we have soulful yoga. And just keep a lookout for our new schedule, which hopefully will be coming very soon. It's so good to see you guys, even if it's here.